I want to address a comment that I have been getting quite a lot over the last however long I've been making videos, okay, over and over again. Different contexts, different people, but always the same context or always the same comment. And that is always going to the same direction. And most times they're like, good luck finding a job with your mindset. And I don't think you realize how fucking stupid you sound. So let me just give you a rundown. And by the way, that implication always comes in when it comes to radical views I allegedly have, which are not fucking radical. They are just the truth and you are just fucking stupid. Let's start there. So most times they are like, oh, when I talk about how all white people are racist, which I don't understand why it's so hard to comprehend when I say all, full stop. I don't say all but myself. I've always said all, full stop. All of us, okay? We are all socialized in a system and a society that gives us privileges only for the fact that we are white. I don't see what's so hard to understand. And what the entire fuck makes you think that I would ever work for a corporation, a company, or an individual that would ever want to debate shit like that with me? Are you really this fucking dense? Okay, a few weeks back, I had an interview, okay? It was for a translation project, okay? So we were talking, you know, the guy was breaking down how they want the translations to be, the timeline and everything. And then he said that along the line, one part of the translations are invitation letters to their workshops or their events or whatever the fuck it is. So then he was like, oh, and then in the translation, you need to make sure that the address is correctly translated, but it still has to fit the local address setting, right? I was like, okay, that's not an issue. I've been doing translations for years. No issue about that. Then he was like, yeah, the workshops they hold in our headquarters in Israel. I thought my ears were doing me somehow. So I was like, I'm sorry, your headquarters in? He said, yeah, we are in Tel Aviv, Israel. I said, in Tel Aviv? Israel? He said, yeah, don't you know? I said, I know Tel Aviv, but Tel Aviv is not in Israel. Tel Aviv is Palestine. His fucking face froze. He froze. I said, I'm sorry, but at this point, there's no need. I'm not ever going to work for Zionists. You know? He looked at me dead in the eyes. He was flabbergasted, okay? I don't give a fuck who you are, okay? And just because you are a fucking hypocritical piece of shit doesn't give you the right to project that hypocrisy onto other people, okay? Because anything you see on this platform, anything you see me yapping anywhere, I am yapping. Best believe I practice that in my everyday life. So no, I do not need your good luck finding a job because I'm good. I am good. Because I will never work for a corporation that doesn't give two shits about human rights, that supports genocide, that doesn't give a fuck about their own privileges, or that is in denial of thereof, that silences people, that doesn't give a fuck about diversity. And when I talk about diversity, I'm not saying, oh, we have a black cleaner. I'm talking about diversity up there, okay? I would never work for a corporation like that. And do you know what? There are so many jobs out there. If you are getting laid off today, you can have another job before tomorrow morning. And that's one thing I have learned since I started working at the age of 12, 13. You are replaceable everywhere and anywhere, but so is your employer, okay? The same way they replace us when we are getting laid off is how we can replace them at any given time as our employers. There's work everywhere, at every fucking corner. And of course, that is a quite privileged standpoint because that's not achievable or accessible for everybody, unfortunately, because we live in a system of capitalism, right? But telling me that just because I have sat my ass down here and be like, oh, all white people are socialized racist, all white people are racist, full stop, is kind of hilarious. Because that implies that I would shove my morals down my throat I will swallow my mind just because I need to please somebody in the corporate world. And who the entire fuck do you think I am? I have children that look up to me. And I will never be caught preaching A but doing B by my own kids. Because as much as I don't give a fuck about you, your existence, I very much care about what my children think. And if I tell you I do not support certain corporations, that stretches in all aspects of my life, okay? That has anything to do with boycotts, has anything to do with countries, has anything to do with certain people, has everything to do with any part of my life. That's what I hold on to. And I'm not depriving from that for no reason. I don't see why I should. Why the fuck should I? And do you know what's funny? I have had job interviews in the past where I was asked about my social media content. And I will look you dead in the eyes and will ask you, what about that? Which part of my social media presence would you like to discuss? Bring it on. Because in opposite of you, anything I say here, I can defend in real life. You can't even defend your fucking face. Not to talk of showing it on here. So I think you should slow down a bit, right? In wishing people good luck getting a job. Because just because you bend over backwards for anybody that runs you €1 or €2 doesn't mean other people do that. Okay, there are people out there that actually have morals. And as for me, and that's not even possible in the way I wish it was because of capitalism, because of classism, because certain companies cannot even be boycotted because they have their fucking fingers everywhere like a goddamn octopus. So if I could how I wanted to, I would be boycotting a lot more. But unfortunately, it's not always possible. It's not always accessible. Because under a system of capitalism, there is no ethical consumption. There is no ethical wealth. That does not exist. Okay? So next time you try and wish me good luck finding a job, how about you go and fuck yourself? Get out your parents' basement and maybe, I don't fucking know, go and play on the tracks or any shit like that. Just fuck off. Okay?